What does it mean to analyze? Think about it for a second. It's one of those words we hear all the time, on TV, in classrooms, in conversations at work. But do we ever stop to break it down? Oddly enough, that's exactly what analyzing means, breaking something down to understand it better. Let's start with the basics. To analyze is to take a big complex idea or problem, something that seems overwhelming, and chop it into smaller, more manageable pieces. But analyzing isn't just for scientific labs or business reports. Oh no, it's something we all do every single day, probably without even realizing it. Imagine you're deciding what to have for lunch. You analyze the situation without even thinking about it. What do you have in the fridge? What's your budget? Did you promise yourself you'd eat healthier this week? These are all tiny parts of a bigger question. What's for lunch? Now, let's take it up a notch. Imagine you're watching a movie. You're not just staring at the screen, you're analyzing whether you realize it or not. You notice how suspense builds when the music slows down, or how a character glances nervously before dropping a big secret. Your brain is processing all these details, connecting them, and asking, what does this mean? And it doesn't stop there. Analyzing helps us with much bigger things, relationships, careers, or even figuring out how to solve global issues. Let's say you're having a disagreement with a friend. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can analyze the situation. What exactly was said? What emotions are at play? What's the best way to communicate so both sides feel heard? That's analysis in action, turning a messy emotional conflict into a problem with potential solutions. But here's the magic of analysis. It doesn't just solve problems, it helps us grow. When we analyze, we're not just finding answers, we're learning, adjusting, and seeing the world in a deeper way. So the next time you hear the word analyze, don't think of it as some dry academic skill. Think of it as a superpower we all have, a way to turn confusion into clarity, uncertainty into insight, and complexity into understanding. After all, life is full of puzzles, and the better we get at analyzing, the better we get at putting them together.